The Prime Minister did not have time to visit. In 3 years, he could make 1 hour stopover in Imphal to inaugurate some projects and so on. Reportedly, it was an RPG. Happened in a village in Trong Laubi in Vishnupur district of Manipur. Mother and 2 young children. One is a 5-year-old boy, and his younger sister, which is a 5-month-old baby. They were peacefully sleeping, and then that attack happened and exploded, unfortunately, in that bedroom itself. You know, this mob went to the CRPF station. It's just barely 1 kilometer, as I told you, because they said, despite your presence, how come this has happened? You have allowed it, you are involved. That kind of a suspicion people have it. It is to rein in the violence of these armed groups. They are freely moving in the hill areas. Particularly, you can see visuals. There is right in front of the Central Armed Forces. People are moving with guns. If they were part of those groups under SU, they are not supposed to move out of their camps. How is it they are moving around? And how is this ambush happened yesterday if they have put things under control? Army general saying that drone istemal nahi kiya gaya, but when the same instance was investigated by the NIA and charge sheet file kiya, usme to bola hai ki drone istemal kiya. Good afternoon, friends. You must be wondering, whenever I popped up here, there must be something wrong in Manipur. Whenever I came here, it's very unfortunate. All of we are aware, you are also aware, I suppose, for the last 3 years, Manipur has been burning, and I have been saying, so is many people, including our party leaders, have been saying that the government of India is treating whatever happens in Manipur as if it is in a foreign country, as if it is not part of the country. The Prime Minister did not have time to visit. In 3 years, he could make 1 hour stopover in Imphal to inaugurate some projects and so on. That callous attitude towards the suffering of the people of this state continues this month as well. There are a series of unfortunate incidents again happened, violent incident, telling us that the situation has not changed over the last 3 years. I'm sure that although these were not covered, unfortunately, by our national media adequately as we would have loved to, on 7th of this month, April, you're all aware that projectile, an RPG attack, reportedly it was an RPG, happened in a village in Trong Laubi in Vishnupur district of Manipur. It's a heartbreaking incident. Even I couldn't see the video, and I don't want to see it still. When I see glimpses of that, it hurts me so bad. You must have seen now that this mother and 2 young children, one is a 5-year-old boy, and his younger sister, which is a 5-month-old baby. They were peacefully sleeping, and then that attack happened and exploded, unfortunately, in that bedroom itself. And the 2 children died. Some of you must have seen it. When the mother came to her senses, she was struggling for her life in hospital. Frankly, I couldn't see the entire video because it hurts. Imagine a mother getting to her senses in hospital bed and come to know that your children are no more. And she was breaking, I get goosebumps. She said, before they went to sleep, the young boy, 5 years old, said, "Mama, I love you." That's what she was recollecting it. The younger daughter was supposed to have Churakaran ceremony. No, it's not Churakaran, I don't know, what you call it, the solid food का एक रिचुअल होता है बच्चे का, तो 5 महीने का लड़की है, वो 2-3 दिन में होने वाला था. उसका पिताजी जो है बीएसएफ में सिपाही है. He is posted in Bihar. His mother is also on a leave. She works as a nurse in a hospital in Guwahati, in our neighboring state of Assam. And that tragic incident is a reminder that we have lost so many people's life, precious life over the last 3 years, including, this is not the first time you have an infant. We have instances of this before as well, including those who were slaughtered in captivity and a cold-blooded manner. It's not even a mob violence. We have seen children being killed in the mob violence when ambulances were burned down and so on. And some were very brutal, in cold-blooded. Infants were also slaughtered after taking them into hostels. And this violence on 7th of April is a reminder that the situation is not under control. It is a pretension, it will be a dishonest pretension if one thinks that the violence has come down in Manipur. The society and polity is still divided, and strange it seems the government of India decides to create buffer zones without admitting it legally. I have tried to visit those places. As an MP, I can't visit my own constituencies because the security forces stop me. And there is no standing legal order. It is illegal and unconstitutional. They impose it, including a member of parliament like me. They are separating people, this has never happened. You must be aware that when we go on a peacekeeping mission in foreign countries, it is perfectly a legitimate strategy to separate the warring groups. But when you do in your own country, it is unacceptable. For one reason, you are supposed to enable people to exercise their freedom given in the Constitution, to go to your homes, to get access to public facilities like airports, highways, and educational institutions. You have a responsibility to ensure that people get access to these fundamental rights, that every citizen should have it. But if you are stopping people from going there, then quite obviously you are not doing your duty of ensuring that people get access to their homes, highways, hospitals, and airports. And it's strange why they are doing this. And this 7th April incident happened in the so-called buffer zone areas inside. It still happens. There are army deployment units are there. There are central armed police, CRPF's location is also there. And what we came to know later on is that after the blast, which happened around 1 to 1:30 in the night, early in the morning on 7th, and police station, the officers didn't come there. It's barely 4 or 5 kilometers away from the police station. They didn't arrive. There's a CRPF detachment there, which is barely kilometers away from the spot. They didn't come. I was told that the first respondent were Indian Army unit who came to the site, and that too after 3 or 4 hours of the incident. You can see the callous nature of the response of the security establishment in the failure on the part of the administration. They didn't go and rush and cordon off the area. It was the villagers themselves who shifted those injured and those children to hospital, and which have led to a mistrust, as reinforces a prevailing mistrust of the security forces. And next day, early in the morning, agitated people who suspected that despite your presence, how come that this has happened? This has done before. I visited another place where you have security establishment, central security forces, and still bomb blasts happen. People got injured. I tried to go inside. They stopped me again. And surprisingly, that moment, this is in a place, again in Bishnupur district, called Nganukhong, I talked to the officer in charge of the police. He can't even go to that place. Can you believe it? A police officer under Indian Constitution can't even visit it. He was stopped by the, this unconstitutional restriction being imposed. Even the police was not allowed there. So this has been happening. So agitated people, this mob went to the CRPF station. It's just barely 1 kilometer, as I told you, because they said, despite your presence, how come this has happened? You have allowed it, you are involved. That kind of a suspicion people have it. And instead of dealing with a law and order situation, your standard operation procedures, that SOP of dealing with crowd, I don't know whether they have placed in order. There was no lathi charge, there was no blank fire, there was a straight light bullets, and 3 people were killed again. And from that onwards, things continues. You must check it. Internet is banned now. Massive protests and crackdown on civilian again. Brutal forces being used in a peaceful rallies. Ambulances were stopped, and very rude manner in which those people who have been called out. Disturbing images are there by Central Security Forces. Ambulance driver and assistants were beaten up. I mean, including Red Cross Society's ambulance. You know that in international standard, Red Cross Society's ambulance is not touched even during wartime. But in Manipur, you see the video and how our security forces behave. And I think it is complete abdication of responsibility by the government of India and their surrogate government in Manipur to take that political will and responsibility. Otherwise, our armed forces and our officers are quite capable of dealing it with any crisis judiciously and with efficiency and effectiveness that they are trained for. And I think the morale as well as the conduct of our armed forces, security forces, central security forces including, have been disturbingly and unfortunately get eroded in the manner in which they have responded to the situation. It's very unfortunate. Now what happened is, as this violence go on, the sphere of conflict gets expanded. Within 2 days after this incident on 7 April, so far you've been talking about Kuki, Meitei. Now it has become Kuki and Tangkhul again, one of the largest tribes which comes under the conglomerates of Naga groups. It's okay again, you can call it now Kuki Naga. So Kuki Meitei, then Kuki Naga. So this sphere has been expanded. Houses were burned down, same thing that 2023 May incident. This time it's not Meitei, it's Tangkhul. Houses were burned down. And people can't travel now. Imphal to Ukhrul Road is not as free. Civilians can't go. And it came to such an extent on 18, I think it's yesterday, or day before yesterday. There was an ambush on a civilian and 2 Tangkhuls were killed. And there's, what should we say, complete collapse of law and order. Now in the meantime, the government has given the case to NIA, that the children's case, and NIA has detained 5 Kuki militants belonging to UKNA, which is not under the SU, suspension operation. They have detained NIA. The fact that the case is being dealt by NIA, as you know that the scheduled offense is more to do with national security and terrorism. So they said that they have detained suspected 4 some Kuki militants belonging to an armed group, Kuki groups called UKNA. That incident, as just as they announced that they have detained these Kuki militants suspected involving in the killing of those 2 children. This ambush happened, which is again reportedly committed by suspected Kuki armed groups. So the sphere of conflict has expanded again. And in the meantime, our Prime Minister still makes no comment. The Home Minister has not made any statement. Instead, they are busy to surreptitiously push a bill in the name of women reservation to perpetuate what they think. They will rule this country for all times to come. That is a dictatorial kind of a shift. You remember that I think that opposition had successfully fought back what could have been otherwise the beginning of the end of the Indian Republic. The way they were trying to push this delimitation to secure their rule in this country. They didn't realize that for own electoral gain, they don't realize that South and North can divide. Just as in Italy, you have seen the division between South and North. On economic and socio-economic dimension, we already seen that split. They were trying to split it politically again. Marginalized states like Manipur and the northeastern states just put up this facade of women's bill. You are all aware of that. We have fought back, and opposition have stopped what could have been the beginning of the end of the Indian Republic. And they were so busy with this nonsense, and they don't have this sense of responsibility to the country. And their negligence of Manipur is a reminder of same attitude. We haven't heard the Home Minister making any statement. Prime Minister is not making any statement. He is busy scheming these things. So this is some of these developments. I just wanted to brief press fraternity in the so-called mainstream. Because the local newspapers and regional newspaper in Northeast covers things. I request you so that the conscience of the nation must be awakened despite the government's attempt to silence these tragedies. And I think you must also look at it. I don't know whether this has been reported. Our party, Pradesh Congress Committee, has submitted a charter of demand to the Prime Minister on this incident, and I shall give you this paper afterwards. I've asked them to distribute. We submitted through, to the Prime Minister through the Governor, and we have also submitted these demands to the Chief Minister of the state. And I just wanted to read out for you so that you are aware of what are these demands. The first is a set of demands. So we said that the investigation in the killing of these 2 children must be completed as soon as possible because this public trust needs to be restored. Simultaneously, we also have demanded to constitute an inquiry commission under the Commission of Inquiry Act 1952 to investigate this firing incident which led to the death of 3 people on the morning of 7 April. And the third, we have also asked to look into and inquire into this killings in Ukhrul and Kamjong districts, this violence that started from 8th, 9th and 10th in Ukhrul. We have asked for a proper inquiry and bring those culprits to book. Second demand, we have also asked that all the government must immediately rein in the violent activities of armed groups and individuals in the state of Manipur and book those involved in illegal activities. You know that they have claimed that they have recovered the arms, but there are disturbing images of, particularly in the hill areas, Kuki armed groups moving around freely in the presence of central security forces. These images are coming up, and this violence, including yesterday's ambush, I think we need to rein in these violent activities. So that is our second demand. Third demand is that Manipur police, you know that in our country, law and order is a state subject, and the first responder and the primary institution to deal with the law and order is the police. Manipur police has been completely delegitimized and disoriented, fragmented. We have demanded that it must be restored, reorganized, reformed, and strengthened as the primary institution to deal with law and order in the state. Fourth, we said all activities and practices that erode the power of the state, particularly on matters related to law and order as a state subject under the Constitution, must be stopped. You know that, we have been hearing this, that the central government is calling shot, and law and order has been completely remote control from Delhi and to federal structures. I have warned this at the beginning of the moment. They said that 355 has been imposed. It is not imposed, creating that confusion. 355 is an article you can't impose. It was only a legal and ethical premise for 356. So they have appointed so-and-so as the police chief and so-and-so as the chief secretary, while the state government is still around. Which is, that Ambedkar Cole said, law and order is the sovereign and plenary authority of the state. A remark which was quoted by Supreme Court in its judgment later on also. But this is an erosion of that. State government has been reduced to like a vassal state where the Delhi is calling shot. So if you want to restore peace in Manipur, you must restore the constitutional order, particularly law and order should be the domain of the state government. Fifth, the government must take immediate action to restore the fundamental rights of citizens by ensuring safe and unhindered access to their homes, essential public facilities such as highways, airports, hospitals, and educational institutions across the state of Manipur. Six, in order to fix accountability and initiate necessary institutional measures to restore normalcy in the state, the findings of the Inquiry Commission instituted by the Government of India on 4th June 2023 to look into the violence that began on 3 May 2023 must be completed and made public immediately. You know that they have constituted this Inquiry Commission on Manipur violence, and 6 months within that they were asked to submit a report. They have been delaying it to date, thereby denying justice. So Government of India is not only failed in controlling the violence, normalizing, clearly their motive is shown by the fact that the Commission of Inquiry, uska report bhi aaj tak nahi aaya. 6 महीने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया था 4 जून को 2023 में, अभी 3 साल हो गया, अभी तक वो रिपोर्ट आया नहीं. In fact, the chairman even resigned. So you can see there is something dishonesty and fishy going on in this crisis. So don't take it merely as a community violence. It's a complete primarily a failure of the government and an issue of governance. So we demand that that inquiry committee report must be made public, completed. Seventh, the government must adopt clear and fair and just means to deliver justice and provide adequate financial and material compensation to the victims of the violence from May 2023. You know that still people are languishing, people are committing suicide. This is going on even today. And there are reports of misuse of these funds. News reports have come in. So I think the government, we have demanded, must take a clear, fair and judicious measure to deliver justice to these victims. Eighth, the government must formulate, implement an economic policy and package to address adverse economic effects of the ongoing violence. Manipur's economy is completely shattered now. So I think the government, this is a politically motivated even flood. We will have flood again. They will announce for Bihar and other places, not for Manipur. Election compulsion, you can call it. And they have not been, I have been trying to raise this issue in Parliament, and the party also has taken a firm position on this, that we must evolve policy on that. Ninth, the government must immediately initiate measures to facilitate dialogues among legal stakeholders to bring normalcy in the state. that must be initiated. Initially they denied their role to do this. They were throwing the ball at the court of the civil society instead of taking active initiative. Now last one we have demanded, because since the issue in Manipur has to do with the porous border and infiltration from the neighboring country, which is very unstable, so we have raised the issue of illegal immigrants, and there is a disproportionate increase in population in certain pockets. We have been facing these controversies. You know that the delimitation based on 2001 was not implemented in Manipur, including Assam and Manipur, because of some of these loopholes in the census. Decadal growth rate in terms of 130, 160, where in the valley the decadal growth rate is around 14%. In some of the hill areas it is recorded as 160%, stuff like that. So we have demanded that unless you clear a process to distinguish a citizen from non-citizen and establish the Foreigners Tribunal under the Immigration and Foreigners Act 2025, the census process must be deferred. That was our demand. Overall, to conclude, what I'm saying is the government has failed. They have been failing. Not only that, they want to distract people, they want to silence the tragedy of the state, and justice has not been delivered. And that's the major reason why I have come here in our party's office. We have been saying this. Rahulji had visited our state 3 times, and Modi has given only 1 hour visit, a stopover. So I request our media fraternity to help us to register these tragedies and painful moments in our life. You should remember that Manipur is part of the country. The more you do this, anti-India feelings will come. It has already started. I have said this on the floor of the House. And never ever we have seen this. People are saying that leave us alone, we will handle it. You know, that kind of a sentiment has come in, and we must perform, all of us, our national responsibility to assure the hurt feelings of the people and the suffering of the people of my state. It is all our responsibility. That's why our party has decided to brief this latest round of violence in the state of Manipur. Thank you. I'll take if you have 1 or 2 questions. ये कुकी और नागा के बीच में भी शुरू हो गया. हाँ. It started next day itself. In a place called Litan. No, this is an ambush that was on 18th of this month. 2 people died, including an ex-army man. And both are Tangkhul community was part of it. Can you use the mic, please?
And I think they have been...
Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Recently, some foreign nationals have been arrested by the government. And they are being investigated for the act of terrorism. Do you see any foreign hand?
You know, one thing is whether there is a foreign hand or not. What is the responsibility of the government? Because we have been saying that there are these foreign elements, because the Myanmar is very unstable. And we have a porous border. There are armed conflict with the junta, and you know that. That has a spillover effect. Many observers and experts have said. And so this arrest also is an indicator of the danger of those external dimension which gets implicated in the present crisis in the state of Manipur. But the question remains, what is Government of India's response?
Professor Koizam here. Yeah, on to your right. You just read out many charter of demands.
That is from our Manipur Pradesh Congress.
Yes,
you will get a copy of that one.
Only thing that I wanted to know, that now that there is a relapse of violence in your state.
It's not a relapse.
Well, at least
it's a continuity.
It is, but in some senses it was getting back to normal. They had, they had reinstalled their government. Now it's back to violent ways again. So if you were to I mean, is there one thing that you want the center to do immediately to stop this?
That's, I think we have mentioned this. It is to rein in the violence of these armed groups. They are freely moving in the hill areas, particularly you can see visuals. There is right in front of the Central Armed Forces. People are moving with guns. If they were part of those groups under SU, they are not supposed to move out of their camps. How is it they are moving around? And how is this ambush happened yesterday if they have put things under control? How is that these rockets were fired? You see, this is, I think, we have been bluffing to ourselves by thinking that we have control and collected. At least in the Imphal district and some of the central districts, Central Valley, Thobal and others, normally these areas, you don't get to see people roaming around with guns now. But in the hill area, it still continues. This partition sort of a thing has been an issue that many people have been saying from the beginning. If you are cracking it down, do it judiciously. Unfortunately, there is a suspicion towards Central Armed Forces of colluding with these armed groups. And this kind of instances is giving credence to those allegations and suspicion, which is not good for us.
Has the Manipur crisis now turned into a political blame game between parties rather than focus on a real solution? You don't think so?
No, I think it's, see, in a democracy, what do you expect Congress party to do it? We are performing our Rashtra duty, national duty of pointing out, this is part of our oversight function. As the opposition party in democracy, we have to, but it's not a blame game. We're saying that do your job. Do your job well. I mean, you can't call that as blaming the government. It is our constitutional responsibility. If we keep quiet, we don't bring this out, then what happens to this country?
It's not about the Congress party, it's both the parties, like Congress, BJP, it's a political blame game,
No,
and
sir.
the main crisis, real solutions are not coming out.
I think, unfortunately, that kind of a position is normally being propped up by BJP and its surrogates to silence the criticism that is a rightful duty for opposition party to do it. They want to silence it. And this narrative of, blame game, mat karo, kaam karo kind of thing is trying to hide their responsibility. The fact is that they are the ruling party, the executive power is with them, and your responsibility is to ensure that the people's lives and properties are protected, law and order is maintained, which clearly they have failed it. And if you don't want opposition to point it out, then what is our constitutional responsibility? And the moment we do that, you want to silence it by saying it that, oh, you are indulging in blame game. I think that's a trap, and then I'm not going to accept it.
So since the new chief minister has come to power,
Yeah.
the democracy has come to enforce in your state, do you think that there is no impact of the new government? There is no impact of changing the guard in the state from in the BJP itself? And what next do you want? Do you want that there should be a president rule in the state again, because people have lost the faith, lost the plot in the current government of Manipur?
See, first of all, I think I did write this in a national newspaper before. We have been bluffing ourselves quite a lot. When the precedent rules were imposed, it's not because constitutional machinery has collapsed in Manipur. If that's the principle, they would have done it at the beginning of the crisis. It was just to save their skin. They were trying to do that, and they have installed a government. And the suspicion is that this government is also functioning under the diktats from the government of India. To appoint ministers and to announce portfolios for ministers is the prerogative of the chief minister. You see, this government has not been able to do that. Though they are making efforts, that much I must acknowledge, that the new government is making an effort. But quite obviously that's not adequate as this violence is shown. And we still don't know whether the law and order is completely under his control. The people have said that, oh, he's now chairing the Unified Command meeting, but you must know that the first order issued in the earlier regime also, there is a footnote in that order that if and when the Chief Minister wants to chair the Unified Command meeting, he can also do that. So we don't know whether there is a reversal or he's chairing the session precisely following the same old order, which has a footnote where he says not only the security advisor who is supposed to chair the session, footnote में डाल दिया कि CM चाहिए तो उसको भी chair कर सकते हो. So we don't know whether he had chairing his session because of the old order. Maybe है ना ये तो. I don't know whether he has completely taken over the law and order machinery. But quite obviously, throughout this crisis, this abdication of responsibility by the government and the complete chaotic manner in which security agencies work. Remember that Indian Armed Forces generals have said there was no drone being used. Denied on national media, then our premier investigating agency, NIA, filed a charge sheet saying that drone was used. So we are hearing this chaotic schizophrenic statement. Army general saying that drone istemal nahi kiya gaya, but when the same instance was investigated by the NIA and charge sheet filed kiya, usme to bola hai ki drone istemal kiya. You see moments when security forces fought, Assam Rifle blocking Manipur police, stuff like that, which is not good. It's complete chaos. And that says, I think the blame must go to the government. I'm telling you, our professionals, office security personnel, they are well trained. They know how to behave. It is this abdication of responsibility by the political executive that has led to this confusion. If you give an order, I have talked to many security people, they said, एक clarity होता हमारा साथ, clear cut position आता government से, ये तो हफ्ते भी नहीं लगेगा हमको इसको खत्म करने में. It's a complete failure of the political executive. And they are creating these images on the ground, you are not able to control. Security agencies are not working in tandem with each other. So, yes, please.
एक लेकिन सवाल सर ये the question remains कि ये government, why would government allow to allow this happen, this happen on the ground? क्यों ऐसा करेंगे वो? सरकार को इससे क्या फायदा होगा?
That is why, क्या फायदा होगा? I think it's not about faida. I think it is, one part is...
What is their intent?
No, I think the intent is, I have said it very bluntly on the floor of the House. I don't mince word on that. If you think that there is a continuity of the colonial in the post-colonial in our ethos, that is why this government is trying to change. They have changed IPC and CRPC को बदल दिया. क्या करके बदल दिया? ये कि colonial ethos है, ये हमारा देश में colonial mentality अभी क्यों चलता है, जो उसने मणिपुर के साथ बर्ताव किया है ना, यही है, a reflection of the same continuity. ये कहूँगा मैं तो, it's a benefit की बात नहीं है. Fundamentally, it is very unfortunate. Not only they have an ideologically very twisted, only hungry for power. That's what they have it. So Manipur में ध्यान नहीं दे पाया ना. They don't care what happens. So that the public must remind them that Manipur is part of them. I'm telling you, people are saying, is it a good sign when some people started saying Manipur, that leave us alone? We were a kingdom, we had our own army, ये हमारा इसी time में ऐसा होता, then we would have handled it ourselves. That kind of a feeling should not come. I think this is a very dangerous thing that they are playing. Remember that 2001, it was BJP government who created havoc in Manipur. Assembly को जो burn down किया गया. That was also BJP made a mistake. बिना सोच के समझ के ऐसा ही कुछ announce कर दिया दिल्ली में. Then it burst into flame. This is complete abdication of responsibility. I'll share one thing. It's not that journalists and many people in this country don't know about this. I asked in national media when they took interview, I said, आप बताइए जो घटना हो रहा है मणिपुर में, ये बिहार में होता या यूपी या पंजाब राजस्थान में होता, ये सरकार होने देते हैं सर? He does like this. then क्यों होने दिया उधर? आप सोचो. ये हम लोगों का सोचने की बात नहीं है, आप लोग भी सोचो. मैंने बोला बिहार में होता, यूपी में, राजस्थान में, do you think that they would have allowed this? Segregation of Hindus and Muslims perpetually, not allowing to get access to railway station because वो मुस्लिम एरिया में आप नहीं जा सकता, एयरपोर्ट हिंदू एरिया में नहीं जा सकता. इस देश में ये करने लगोगे तो आप लोग क्या कहोगे उसको? मणिपुर में क्यों होने दिया? इसका दिमाग में मणिपुर इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया, ये कहेगा ना. ये देश का हिस्सा मानता तो खुद ठीक से काम करता. So it's not about benefit, it's एक जो सोचने का जो ढंग है ना. That's why I say Rahul ji visited 3 times. He went to camp, sit down, not a media hype. ये Prime Minister went there after 3 years, 1 घंटे के लिए वो भी स्टॉप ओवर था. उसका काम असम और मिजोरम में था, मणिपुर में जाके. And it's an arrogance of emperor kind of thing. You know, when the assembly is under suspension, suspended animation, the speaker office is still intact. On the dais he sits, the speaker was not allowed to sit. He did not even take the name of the speaker in his address. The speaker of Manipur State Assembly is an Indian constitutional position. You don't matter kind of an attitude. They have shown, he has shown it in that meeting as well. So I am from Congress, I feel deeply offended because it's an impropriety of the highest order. Speaker बैठे हुए हैं सामने, स्टेज में भी नहीं बैठे थे आप उसको. Governor and he sits. And he, in his address, he did not even mention the presence of the speaker. That kind of an arrogance, ये सोचिए आप लोग. So I think it's not a benefit. जो उसका सोचने का तरीका है ना, उसका नजरिया जो है, बोलते रहते हैं colonial hangover, colonial embrace देश में है ना, हिस्ट्री बदल देगा, लॉ बदल देगा, लेकिन खुद का जो काम है मणिपुर में is all reflection of that exclusion. That's what he is doing it.